I saw Detective Pikachu last night. Before I get into the review, let's roll the clip.
All right, here it is. Harry faked his own death. Or somebody else faked Harry's death. Or Harry faked somebody else's death. That last one doesn't work at all. That's a twist. That's very twisty.
So I had a lot of fun with this movie. I laughed a lot. Going into this movie, I was not a Pokemon fan at all. I did not know almost anything about the world of Pokemon or any of that or how anything worked. But I still laughed a lot at this movie. I thought it was very entertaining. The only reason I saw this movie was because Ryan Reynolds was in it, and the trailers looked really funny. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go see that. And yeah, I got what I expected. I got 2 hours of Ryan Reynolds making jokes. I can't really ask for more than that. But, you know, despite that, it had a lot of very quick wit. It had a very engaging plot that was a little predictable, but kids' movie. But there were still some twists I didn't see coming. I would say this movie is very similar to the movie Roger Rabbit, because you have the human, and then you have the cartoon, or in this case, the Pokemon, and they're going to go and they're going to solve a mystery. I mean, even the villain's plot was almost the same as Roger Rabbit, because he's like, I'm going to fuse the minds of the humans to the bodies of the Pokemon, or something like that, because he thinks the Pokemon are the more evolved, just like how in Roger Rabbit he was like going to combine himself with the cartoon or something, as far as I can remember. So it was pretty much the same plot as that, but it still had some things I didn't see coming, and that may have been because I'm not a Pokemon fan, but I can't speak for those who are. But I thought maybe the gas, the R gas, I thought, oh, that's Team Rocket, because that's like one of the few things I know about Pokemon is there's Team Rocket and they have like an R on their shirt. But that ended up not even being in the movie, so I was completely wrong on that. But yeah, okay. So I've given Warner Brothers a lot of flack for their CGI in the past. I've made the joke that they haven't upgraded their CGI software since like 2003, but there's a lot of really good CGI in this movie. It didn't work all the time. Like there's parts where like they go to the coffee shop and there's the human and the Pokemon, and when they're sitting next to each other, it looks you can tell that Pikachu is CGI. You can tell that maybe the background is a green screen. But when they're moving, when it's just the Pokemon on the screen for the most part, or when they're moving next to the human, it looks very good. So that was like one bad part of CGI in the entire movie. Not every joke worked in this movie. I felt sometimes they were making a joke just for the sake of making the joke to try and get a laugh, but when you're trying to be funny, you're not funny. So like there was a part where when they first introduced the villain, he's like, my son is trying to take over the company. He's already taken over most of the company already. Which is like, oh, well, you can't have daddy issues without daddy. And that wasn't really that funny. I don't know why they felt they threw that. It didn't work. The joke didn't work there. But the joke that worked really worked. For the most part, I had kind of a smile on my face the whole time. I really had a lot of fun with this movie. And they did very well about explaining things well for us noobs who don't know anything about Pokemon. Like, okay, here's this Pokemon, and here's this power, and here's what they evolve into. And that was good, because if they hadn't done that, I would have been lost. So I'd say that pretty much anybody can enjoy this film. But I wouldn't say it's a must-see. I wouldn't say, go and see it right now. But considering there isn't really anything coming out this weekend, I'd say maybe go like on the next discount Tuesday. Like I saw it, yesterday on Tuesday. It's $5. And considering there's nothing coming out this weekend, you have an extra week to go see it next Tuesday. So I'd say do that, or you can just wait for Redbox or Netflix. Either way, so it's not really a movie you absolutely have to see. But yeah, for a kids movie, it was actually pretty good. But I will say it wasn't like super dark. But the opening scene with Mewtwo breaking out of the lab, like killing the thing, is like, oh my gosh, this movie started out kind of dark, but that's really the only, I'd say, dark. Well, no, that's not true. There was another part where like the Pokemon go crazy with the gas, and depending on your kid's sensitivity level, like the kids in my theater weren't very scared of anything. I didn't hear anybody, crying or screaming or anything, so I think they were fine. The violence is played for like cartoon laughs. It's a very cartoony. So I mean, I'd say maybe if they watched the show, I can't attest to the violence level of the show, but I assume it's probably the same. So if they're fine with the show, then I assume they'd be fine with the movie. So I'd say this movie would probably be an 8 out of 10 and 3.5 out of 5 stars for me. So I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was fun.